Correctional Services spokesperson Nandipha says the department is investigating Nandipha Magudumana's movements leading up to the alleged assault. Magudumana has laid a case of grievous bodily harm after she was allegedly attacked by 2 inmates during a prayer session at the Kroonstad prison over the weekend. Nandipha says that the incident took place at another cell. Magudumana was arrested in April last year with her alleged lover, Facebook rapist and murderer Thabo Bester in Tanzania. They were arrested in connection with Bester's daring escape from the Mangaung Correctional Center in 2022.
So when this particular incident happened, Nandipha was asked what happened. She then said no, she was allegedly assaulted, and then she was then taken to the healthcare facility inside that center, where an examination was done and there were no visible signs of injuries. But then she was then asked if she would want to open a criminal case because she was fearing that she was attacked. And then she said no. Instead, she would want to engage with her lawyers. It's her right to do that. But as a department, we then probed to say what really happened there. So that investigation is continuing so that we really get to understand. Because when inmates move from their cells to other cells, and then something happens there, then it means it's something that ought to then be looked into quite closely, because other inmates in those cells may prefer the things to be done in another way. Yeah. Hence, then you ought to investigate.
Well, in the next short while, we'll be in conversation with Advocate Machini Motloung, who is Dr. Nandipha Magudumana's lawyer. Remember that the story broke yesterday in the afternoon, where we heard about these allegations that have been made, and he now joins us live. Advocate Motloung, good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. We just heard there from the spokesperson for the Correctional Services Center that as far as they are concerned, your client didn't have any visible injuries. But according to what she told you, what exactly happened? And can you confirm that indeed there were no visible injuries?
Thank you for having me. As I indicated yesterday, that I am actually attending a national human rights conference when I received a call from my client, but it was a brief call where she reported an assault, and that she's awaiting law enforcement authorities to come through and to formally lay criminal charges. So we didn't really take it further than that, and I then attempted in vain to get hold of the management in Bizamahati Correctional Services, just to ensure that I get the full and detailed report. So to this date, I haven't received a full and detailed report, either from the correctional facility or from my client.
Yeah, and nobody from your legal team would have been able to get pictures of her body?
My legal team would be going there this morning to consult with her thoroughly.
Okay, so according to what she told you, what happened in that cell?
Look, I don't have enough information other than that she was quite hysterical, quite very upset when she made a call, very sad that she was assaulted. So what I can confirm is that she was indeed assaulted by inmates, or 2 inmates, if I'm not mistaken, in a prison. And what I can confirm is that she had laid a complaint with the prison authorities a day before the incident took place, raising serious concerns with regards to her safety. And that complaint was never attended to. And that was the source of her disgruntlement, that she has been incessantly laying various complaints, particularly about one of her assailants' conduct in that prison cell, to no avail. I think that is the genesis of her disgruntlement.
Yeah. So in that brief call, did she then say to you that the person or the people that attacked her was a Sangoma, as well as somebody who is mentally ill?
I can confirm that those were the people that were mentioned.
Those were the people that were mentioned. However, though...
And the Sangoma person or lady has been tormenting her for quite some time, and prison authorities knows about this.
Yeah, and prison authorities did nothing about the alleged torment.
Indeed.
Yeah, because the correctional services is saying that, for instance, the allegation that is made that she was also attacked by somebody who's mentally ill is that can't be possible because once somebody is convicted and it's determined that the person is mentally ill, they then become a patient of the Department of Health. So what does your client base her claim on, that the person that attacked her is mentally ill?
We will provide more details, but I can tell you that at some point she even laid a complaint about having someone whose health status and condition had deteriorated to a level where she had to physically take care of an inmate, because she is a medical practitioner. She had to physically take care of that inmate and change that person's nappies and all of that. A person whose health condition was at that level. With regards to the mentally challenged person, I'll get instructions as to under what circumstances does she say this person that attacked her is mentally challenged. We'll provide more details on that, except to say that I invite the correctional services to go and see and check for themselves and peruse the file of Dr. Nandipha Magudumana at that center and see, because there is record of complaints. These complaints are not complaints that were laid verbally. They are complaints that are lodged in writing.
Okay, so what recourse are you seeking then for your client? Do you want her to be moved to another prison? Do you want her to be moved to a single cell?
Look, primary concern is her safety. She also deserves full protection of the law, like any other citizen. So we want her to be protected, because we are of the view that she is in that facility and that they are taking care of her because she's in their custody, that they must ensure that her safety is paramount and is guaranteed, whatever manner or shape or form that could come out to be. But at the end of the day, her safety should be guaranteed.
Yeah. Is one of the options that you think available to your client that she should be moved to another correctional facility?
Look, we are going to assess the situation. We are going to uplift her file. We're going to request, in terms of buyer, we're going to request access to her file where, there's been myriad of complaints laid. We're going to assess that and do a mapping exercise in terms of what recourse can we seek under the circumstances. One would not, ignore that we might even have to look the direction of Human Rights Commission to ensure that her rights to human dignity are safeguarded, and other rights which are unalienable are also protected fully. So she needs to enjoy full protection of her human rights. So that would be one of the options. But there are going to be a lot of options that we are going to consider as the legal team.
Yeah. And does that also include going to the Inspectorate of Prisons?
Indeed, in actual fact, at some point, there were complaints that were laid. They are fully aware of her conditions there as well. It's not a one-off or an isolated incident that took place there. It is a build-up. It has reached an explosive stage, which might be untenable, which would call for everyone now to and ensure that she is safe in that facility. But of course, one cannot eliminate any other avenues that we're going to take, except that whatever that we're going to do is going to be within the legal parameters. But we'll ensure that we protect her rights as an awaiting trial prisoner.
Okay. Advocate Motloung, last week you tried to interdict Showmax, a multi-choice, from going ahead with the documentary Tracking Thabo Bester, which was unsuccessful. Have you watched the documentary as yet? 2 episodes that are available.
As I indicated, in our view, that documentary does not really have any credence to us. It's but fiction. I wouldn't even want to watch it, except to say, of course, that Dr. Nandipha Magudumana will be also shooting her own documentary to tell her story, to tell her version in its original form, and to demystify all the issues that are in the public space, the narrative that is there, and to put things into proper perspective.
So when is she shooting that documentary? Because currently she's in custody.
No, look, we remember this, but she is an awaiting trial prisoner, and there are various processes that are underway to ensure that she gets out of that facility. Remember that there is still a case that is pending of unlawful arrest, which is pending before the Supreme Court of Appeal. So, look, all that I'm saying is that plans are underway, we will be announcing that, in a short while.
Okay. Do you know whether Thabo Bester will be participating or partaking in that documentary as well?
No. Like I said, it's Dr. Nandipha Magudumana telling her story her own way, giving her own side of the story. So that's what the documentary is going to be about. It's about Dr. Nandipha Magudumana.
Yeah. Do you know as yet, in terms of the plans of where the documentary will air, do you have a channel that has already expressed interest?
No. Remember that when we have processes such as this, there is the non-disclosure agreement, NDAs, that are entered into. So I'm not at liberty at this moment to even divulge the slightest details. Other than that, something of this nature is definitely in the pipeline. Okay,
Advocate Motloung, I've got one last question, and this is in relation to Dr. Nandipha Magudumana's children. When was the last time that you spoke to them?
Look, she's speaking to them frequently.
She speaks.
She speaks to them frequently through the social worker. There were allegations, at some point that she hardly speaks to them. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. There is a file in the correctional facility of the held by social worker, through whom she is having communication with her kids.
Okay.
Anyone can access. They can access that to verify. But she does keep in touch with the kids.
Do the children visit her in prison, or is this a telephonic conversation?
It's a telephonic conversation. Remember that they are not allowed to be in that facility.
Okay.
She would have loved to have them in that facility.
Thank you so much for your time. That is the lawyer representing Dr. Nandipha Magudumana, Advocate Machini Motloung, following this incident that happened allegedly over the weekend that is still under investigation. Thank you so much for your time.